Okay, hello. Today is gonna be practice strafing mission on P-40. Okay, 100%, no modifications, all set, start. So let me tune the chat, setup, and here we go. First, track IR settings. Let's say it's okay. And get ready for engine start. RPM full forward. Half closed radiator, cowl shutters. Elevator trim up to 5.5 or 70%. Technochat 5.5 to the left or 35%. Rudder trim, technochat off, engine start. That Newport Island features German vehicle convoy. I will use it for practice strafing. And I will do taxiing to get to roll into start position to readiness point. Start, formation circle. Then I probably try and do some very short route flying to Portsmouth. And then go to Bambridge. Lights on. Joystick is alive. Okay. Parking brakes off. I'm starting rolling. That's I need 1500 RPM engine power for that, but immediately I'm on asphalt tarmac. For normal taxiing speed on this type of tarmac I need 1020, about 1010, 1020 RPM. That's gonna be tricky to fine tune. I've got 1015 RPM, that's okay. Those white objects are not physical. You can roll through them. not in obstacles. That step was connection of two types of road, takeoff or landing strip and taxiing runway. I felt very small step on the surface. You could see that. I'm okay with that. Taxiing speed, not too slow, not too fast. Too fast is gonna be uncomfortable, unsafe, and you shouldn't be too slow. The highest safe taxiing speed you should apply. Why waste any time? I'm very comfortable on P-40 without crosswind. When it's in crosswind situations, you're forced to apply brakes because that aerodynamic influence on your rudder will be huge. You will not be able to steer your airplane only with your rudder surface. Now I'm steering without using any brakes, only with my rudder surface. And that will be quite short and straightforward, straight taxiing stint. I'm glad I've got more than 3 hours for my mission. It would be better if I had at least 3.5 hours, but I was too late. I was writing down some comments for one of those great squads in Il2 SG2. I always watch the videos. Of course they fly, they do things just like other players do things in multiplayer. I'm completely disagree with that way of doing things. So I posted some comment. I'm doing S-turning while taxiing. That helps me to keep my S-turning taxiing skills without using brakes. I should refresh them from time to time, but the main purpose of that practice mission is strafing procedure with all my patterns, circles, with simulation of AAA suppression pattern. I won't have pretty much time for that, but I will not do a long route flying. I hope I will not collide with tree or with target, or this will not damage my prop. That happened in the past, but now I use different strafing run procedure, strafing run pattern profile, so that should be good. That profile is quite comfortable and quite safe. Now I am on rolling out to start position, readiness position, canopy closed, and I'm picking up right time for takeoff. Now it's 10:26:30, so my takeoff is gonna be in 10:28, and in 10:27:30 I will start moving on my start position. So 10:28:0 is my start time. I will need it for my first 90 degrees left turn on my formation pattern. That will start in 10:33:0. Your start time plus 50 mics. Okay, 10 seconds till start rolling on my start position. All set. And power up 1500 RPM and throttle retard the throttle, not to accelerate too much. I'm steering without using brakes. That P-40 is good. You don't need to use brakes. You have to be quick but not very fast, and 150 is my takeoff heading, and I was too slow. Power up in 5 seconds. I wasn't quite good in that. I exceeded that 40 inches of manifold pressure. I shouldn't. And Technochat on. I will need to move my RPM lever back on 72, and 130 miles per hour indicated. I take off. Gear down, RPM down to 72%, nose down to accelerate, and that's 150 miles per hour indicated. Throttling back. She's stabilized. I'm gaining about 800 feet. Because of those hills, they will affect my formation pattern altitude. Without those hills, that would be 400 feet. And I've got 150 feet airfield altitude. Okay, Technochat on. Transitioning into straight and level, minus 10% elevator trim, RPM down to 43%. She is pitching nose down. I'm using that time to set my rudder trim and elevator trim minus 5% more. I wait until she pitches nose up and decrease elevator trimming a little bit more, minus 5% more. That's why I need Technochat. She's pitching nose up minus 5% more. P-40 is excellent. Vertical speed is 0. She's pitching nose up minus 5% more. Technochat off. I don't need it anymore. When she starts pitching nose up, I will decrease power. Power 19.0 or maybe less. Yes, let's make it 18.5. Will be not enough. Yes, 18.5 inches. Let's wait and see. if my P-40 is stabilized. I can feel airspeed is a little bit too much, so she's pitching nose up, but soon she will stabilize, and without my manipulation she will maintain 0 vertical speed and heading plus minus 1 degree of heading. Just as I said earlier, that 18.5 isn't enough, so I'm trying to add half of an inch power. I'm watching my timing. It's about 1 minute till first left 90 degrees turn. Oh, perfect, 19.0 inches. I've lost 2 degrees of heading, 3 degrees of heading. I shouldn't. Okay, heading is okay. I close call shutters, so it's gonna be okay for now. 40 seconds till first left 90 degrees turn. She stabilized after takeoff on formation pattern. The fine-tuning of stabilized attitude isn't necessary because I'm losing fuel, I'm burning fuel and fuselage tank behind pilot's neck, pilot seat, and she's changing her behavior anyway. That mass transfer is, mass balance is staged in this game. Starting left turn, additional power, extra power to let her accelerate a little bit. She stabilized with almost stabilized with 15-degree bank angle. And my new heading is going to be 060. Under turning 30 degrees to my new heading, I will decrease power once again, retard throttle. .0 is okay. My bank angle wasn't enough, but still she stabilized after completing that standard 50 degree bank angle glide turn. I use that formation pattern for normal group operations to practice. I do not fly in any squad or any group, I just practice the decent or right way of forming up after takeoff without extra power, without additional power, without excessive power from your wingman, with the same airspeed, all airplanes in your group. You will be able to kill all the distances to have more or less close formation after that formation pattern. That's pretty much important for normal group operations. I like those guys who fly in squads and groups. I watch them, but I know only FTC squad, they do that formation and overhead brake pattern like you should do that. I don't want to say anything toxic about squads, but many players do not appreciate, disregard the right way of doing things, the right formation pattern, overhead brake pattern before takeoff, formation pattern after before landing, and formation pattern after takeoff. Then you watch like they strafe. No, that's a complete disorder on the strafing pattern. Complete disorder. No decent group flying at all. So that's strafing or bombing part of a mission, stage of a mission, of any mission is quite complicated, hard part of mission, so you need to learn how to do simple parts, simple patterns, simple procedures like formation after takeoff or brake pattern before landing. Then you will be able to perform good strafe and circle pattern, for example. How can you do that without knowing how to do the simple things? So I've completed my second 90 degrees left turn, and third 90 degrees left turn will be in my start time plus 13 minutes 0 seconds. My start time was in 28 mics, and in 41 minutes 0 seconds I will start my third left turn. That's about 6 minutes lag between second and third left turns. That straight flying stint, you need to form up any type, to perform any type of formation, close formation or spread abreast formation, any type of formation you need to for your group to have on route flying. And for example, for my likings, that would be a spread formation with about 250 meters intervals to the left and to the right, and that's 3 airspeed intervals. My airspeed is about 88 meters per second. So the third left 90 degrees turn would be performed with a 3 seconds delay. The airplane to my right would start 3 seconds earlier, I would start 3 seconds later, and after completing this standard 50 degrees bank angle, 90 degrees head and turn, we would be in the same spread abreast formation, but another airplane would be on my left. And if you maintain 3 airspeeds intervals, you've got different delays. For 90 degrees turn, that's 3 seconds delay. For 180 degrees turn, that's 0 seconds delay. For 60 degrees turn, that's 5 seconds delay. For 45 degrees turn, that's 7 seconds delay. For 30 degrees turn, that's 11 seconds delay, and all turns less than 30 degrees I prefer to perform with very small bank angle, 3-4 degrees bank angle without not more than 5 degrees bank angle without any delays. And I commenced my third left 90 degrees turn. My attitude wasn't the finest stabilized straight and level attitude. That was because of a little bit lack of airspeed. I will compensate that after completing formation pattern. And I've just made an error, made a mistake. That was too much extra power. .240 is my heading, and the final fourth left 90 degrees turn is gonna be on heading 150. Okay, my 90.0 inches isn't enough. 90.5 inches will be too much. I will open my cowl shutters a little bit. Anyway, 20 seconds till force 90 degrees turn. I don't need to do any fine tuning. My airfield is over there. After that force 90 degrees left turn, I will be my landing strip will be right on my 12 o'clock, because there is no wind on this map. That's a perfect training conditions. I didn't do any mistakes, any errors, navigational. And as you can see, that's the strip I did take off earlier. It's right on my 12 o'clock. That's because I maintained heading while flying straight and level, and I used standard turns. That's why I'm not able to see that strip. It's right behind my canopy. Oh, I've lost 4 degrees of heading. That's unacceptable. That's my bad. Okay, 19.6 inches of manifold pressure. I will not waste any time. I will turn left probably on 090 heading. Okay, turning left. After completing that left turn, that will be 60 degrees turn. The delay is 5 seconds delay for that turn. If you keep in intervals 3 airspeeds, my airspeed is 87-88 meters per second, so that will be 250 meters intervals. And Technochat on, I'm transitioning into climbing attitude, stabilized climbing, plus 5% elevator trim, RPM up to 72, She's pitching nose up plus 5% more. When she stops pitching nose up, I add 5% more. That happens very quickly, 5% more. She is decreasing airspeed, 5% more. And 5% more techno shut off, I don't need it anymore. Throttle forward, 26.5. miles per hour indicated. 26.7. I've lost 6 degrees of heading, that's unacceptable. I'm rusty, I should practice more. And I will gain 3,000 feet altitude. Will climb 3,000 feet and then do transition into straight and level. That will be very short route flying for me. She stabilized almost perfectly, but still I need to correct manifold pressure, because without, just like A20, without manifold pressure governor, she's losing manifold pressure and I'm losing heading. That's my bad. She wasn't trimmed enough. Now she's perfectly stabilized. I like it. I'm close to my desired altitude, 3,000 feet. And technochat on for transitioning into straight and level, the same as before. Minus 10% elevator trim, RPM down to 43%. I use that as a standard for straight and level altitude. She's pitching nose up, minus 5% more. I've set rudder trim and aileron trim. She's pitching nose out, minus 5% more. Different behavior, not like on A20. I like this behavior much more than A20. Look how perfectly vertical speed is 0. She's pitching nose up, minus 5% more. Technochat off, I don't need it anymore. When she starts pitching nose up once again, I retard the throttle. I'm retarding the throttle on 19.5 or maybe 20 inches manifold pressure. She's stabilized almost perfectly. Let's wait and see. Maybe that manifold pressure is going to be too much. Maybe not. Yes, a little bit too much. I will decrease it. 19.6 is gonna be 19.55. 19.6 is gonna be enough. She's gonna be stabilized. Okay, my target is a vehicle convoy. Target's heading is 030 or 1210. So my approach is going to be 300 heading. Then I brake right to the 030 and will perform AAA suppression pattern simulation no AAAs over there. I will attack trucks instead of flak units, but I need that simulation. No trees, no stupid obstacles over there. And then I will do rejoin formation pattern, combat rejoin formation pattern, climbing once again, AAA suppression pattern, and then once again rejoin formation, combat rejoin pattern, and then I will start strafing with my standard strafing procedure. Here is Bambridge. No, that's Sandon, Sea View, and Bambridge is over there. No more historical air-war trainer server for me. Now it's available from time to time, but no more P-40. I appreciate those historical air-war training server for very long P-40 stint, for very long, for long 4 hours missions, but I do not appreciate the attitude, the attitude to users. They like to be asked for training server switched on, to be switched on. Some guys would like to practice. They do not switch on that training server for some reason. I do not appreciate that. That's a toxic behavior. And anyway, just like in my own opinion, if I do say so myself, that, like we call it in Russian, war project, that serious games war server is dead practically, just like all other serious war servers. Random expert, Tau is practically dead. They switch it off and switch it on 4 or 5 times a year, sometimes 3 or 4 times a year. The reason is those servers are practically dead. And whatever you do with gameplay, with logics, mechanics of gameplay, you will not resurrect until developers will add to the game normal functions, normal options for players to create their own gameplay with a very wide options, wide range of options. All those gameplays, logics, they stimulate avoiding enemy players and eating up, destroying ground targets like crazy. That's multiplayer, for Christ's sake. Why should you pursue avoiding enemy team players? That's wrong. You shouldn't be able to gain any result without facing up your opponents in air-to-air combat. That shouldn't be like that. In present gameplay logics, those who avoid enemy team players and those who good in destroying a lot of ground units. That's practically players versus environment gameplay. Those are winners. That's wrong. That's a dead gameplay. In old Il2 Forgotten Battles, all such servers were dead in a matter of 2 or 3 years, maybe earlier. And in this, it's just the same. Random expert, tactical air war. I know tactical air war is popular, but it wouldn't be popular if it would be alive 24/7. So I'm close to my target. Let's set up combat mode. That's 72% RPM. Okay, all set. 30 inches manifold pressure, turning right. That's gonna be 45-degree bank angle combat turn. I'm trying to maintain 0 vertical speed. I have reset my take IR to neutral position, and I'm approaching my brake right point. I can see the target. I can see the target location, and I'm picking up the right timing for brake right part, braking right. When flying within the group, that brake right part would be performed with I think 5 seconds delay. That would help us to form up column, and that is very convenient for AAA suppression pattern. The following player can see the situation ahead of him, whether previous player was successful in suppressing that AAA unit or not. And I'm turning for that truck. And evasive maneuvering, trying not to hit any trees, throttling back a little bit. That evasive maneuvering you're gonna need against AAA units, flak units, fire, and 210 egress heading. Egressing 210, and I'm starting my combat rejoin pattern. It's very difficult to explain. You need to draw it on map. I will not explain that. The base leg of that rejoin pattern is 300. I call it the base, and I start my left turn. The second leg will be opposite, 180. I call it 2 quarters. 1 quarter will be 210, 1/4. I pronounce that in voice channel. I was indiscreet, my vertical speed should be 0. And 120 is my 2/4 heading. 25 2/4. I count seconds. 20 2/4. 15 seconds 2/4. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. And turning 0 seconds. 2/4 turn. I say that to practice group leaders behavior. That was 3/4 for group to form up, but that's too hard to explain. And now I'm on a base lake. I will start transitioning into climbing configuration. Throttle back to 15 inches. Decreasing airspeed. Elevator trim up to 70. I forgot to do any counts. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. And base 0, turn left. I'm bleeding my airspeed for my standard 150 miles per hour climbing attitude. I will regain that 3000 feet at altitude. I'm bleeding out airspeed quite successfully. 120 is my desired heading. Technochat off, I don't need it anymore. And I'm perfectly stabilized. I was a little bit too late on my throttle. That's why I've got insufficient airspeed, but now I've corrected that climbing. I've climbed 1500 feet above the target or above sea level. Then start turn right. My target is 150 feet, so 16,500 feet I will start turning right. My P-40 is stabilized, which is very comfortable, very convenient. In group operations, other group members would be to my right in spread abreast formation to watch our 6, we call it in Russian, dead cone. The area behind your dead spot in English, you can call it. The area behind your tail, you not able to see it. Of course you can weave, but without weaving, your teammate is watching that area for you. And I'm climbing okay, 16,500 feet. I'm starting 15-degree bank angle standard climbing turn. I've added some additional power. This procedure helps you to have some rest after very adrenaline moment of AAA suppression pattern, and without overheating your engine you can climb for secondary attack. I'm turning that 180 degrees turn. On 300 heading I will level up. And do transition into combat mode. Once again I will decrease elevator trim, increase power to 30 inches. And that will be it. And I will repeat AAA suppression pattern. Okay, 300 heading, leveling up. Technochat on 1/4 elevator trim and to 3/4, little less than 3/4 rudder trim. That's standard for me, for my combat settings. And once again brake left. On combat heading 030. I should be to the right of my target, and I use turning AAA suppression approach pattern. You need that. You need airspeed, and you need turning to avoid being hit by AAA. But in case of too much airspeed, your turn will not be effective. You will have too little time to aim your target, and in case of not enough airspeed, you will be hit by flux. And if you're too close, if I would shift to the left, that would be inconvenient and ineffective. And if you're too far, if I shift to the right, that will be also ineffective and dangerous, unsafe. So that's a very interesting, very important approach pattern, strafe pattern, even in those flat conditions. And if you've got landscape, that was bad approach. I didn't hit that vehicle, so I need to practice that more. But I like that practice to be in full combat mission situation, not in some training server. Okay, I will do half of combat rejoin pattern. As you can see, my heading indicator doesn't work properly. My lower heading indicator, it's magnetic. Probably the higher is gyro indicator and lower is magnetic. Is working, but with a very short timing delay, but it's working. And now I will start my. Oh, I've hit that truck. I've destroyed that truck anyway. Now I will approach my target and will establish the base point. Circling base point will be on first visible ground unit. So I need to maintain 120 heading, pick up the right timing for left 90 degrees turn, that will be 45 degree bank angle combat turn. And I'm picking up the right timing for once again to have my target to my left to see it. So that target shouldn't be on my 12, shouldn't be on my 9 o'clock, should be on 10, 11 o'clock for me to be easy to appraise the distance, the range, and to pick up the right moment, the right timing for final 90 degrees turn. And then it will be circling pattern with base point adjustment. I can see the target. I'm picking up this timing for my final 90 degrees left turn. I should increase power. My engine is cool, all okay. I'm facing those vehicles and I should be doing 3/4 shifting. I see it already. That's base, that's 0. With turning left 90 degrees, that will be 1/4. 100 degrees, that would be 2/4. 270 degrees, that will be 3/4, and 4/4 is the base. The base heading is 300. The base point is over the target. That's a point of my circle and pattern. So I shouldn't do any 1/4 shifting because of my airspeed is decreasing. I'm effectively doing 1/4 shifting, but it's too complicated, too hard to explain. So I need 1/4 shifting about 2 or 3 seconds. My 3/4 shifting, 3/4 is 030 heading. I'm leveling up and counting 3 seconds and proceed with my turn. Let's wait and see what I should be. Okay, 3/4 was too much. 3/4 was too much. But anyway, the next circle will be profiled circle. That circle was flat. I will do 1 second 1/4 shifting to shift my base point to the left a little bit. 1/4 is 210 heading, leveling up 1 second and proceed. And on my jump heading, that heading is under turning 150 degrees. That's 090 heading. I will start climbing. Yes. And while climbing, I'm maintaining 200, 2,500, 3,000 feet per minute vertical speed, and waiting until 1,200 feet altitude, and then turning left, setting up my elevator trim maximum -1 round. Watching my airspeed, it shouldn't be less than 140 miles per hour indicated, and shouldn't be more than 150 miles per hour indicated. And I'm right on target. My altitude isn't enough. I will not open fire this time. That's always during first profiled circle. I will do dummy strafing pass and to switch pulling up until 110 miles per hour indicated, and dive. I was too close, I must say. But anyway, next circle will be profiled circle with profile firing circle. I will open fire. While turning with 45-degree bank angle, I'm setting up my elevator trim. I don't need Technochat for that. That's manual. You can feel it with your nose behavior. And in 0.95 degree heading, I will level up and start climbing. Watching she's pitching nose up. I'm watching my vertical speed. It shouldn't be less than 2,500 feet per minute and shouldn't be more than 3,000 feet per minute. And I watch my altitude, and when it's 1200 I will turn left. I use target altitude plus 1,000 feet. Target altitude is 150 feet. I've set up my elevator trim maximum -1 round. And watch my airspeed. It shouldn't be more than 150, shouldn't be less than 140 miles per hour indicated. And now I've got sufficient altitude and my target is on my 12. She's pitching nose up by herself. When she stops pitching nose up, I will pull up until 110 miles per hour indicated, gently pulling up, and that will be my initial diving point. Let's wait and see. Maybe yes, I'm too far this time. This approach is quite shallow approach, but I don't mind. I will open fire this time. No crosswind situation. I should be okay. That was a miss. I'm rusty. I know why I'm too far, because I started turning. Previous approach I started turning left too early, and this time I'm starting turning left okay, so I wouldn't be too far this time. But anyway, by your visual appraising, you can figure out if you're close or far from your target, and you can pick up the right moment for diving. Leveling up, she's pitching nose up, start climbing. Once again I watch my vertical speed. It's okay right now. I don't want it to increase. I control it with my elevator trim top movements, and my altitude is almost 1200 feet. Banking left, 45-degree bank angle. Elevator trim up. I've set elevator trim. Airspeed isn't enough. Airspeed is okay. I will reduce it a little bit, and my target is okay. I should do a little bit 3/4 shifting, but I can do it on my final approach. Climbing okay. Pulling up, I was too close to the target, and dive. That's a perfect approach. Not too shallow, not too steep. That was a hit, but I prefer to hit the engine compartment and to catch up the convergence moment that car is probably damaged already. So the next approach I will focus on a second car. Do not hit the surface. Watch our vertical speed, heading is okay. You can control your heading if you know you need some 3/4 shifting or 1/4 shifting. If you now I'm turning left a little bit, that's 3/4 shifting. If I turn right a little bit, that will be 1/4 shifting. And I was a little bit late on climbing turn, but that's okay. Airspeed is okay. Positioning is okay. You can see that that car is destroyed. That P-40 is mighty with her guns. And I'm leveling up. My target is on my 11-12 o'clock. That's absolutely fine with me. She's pitching nose up by herself. When she stops pitching nose up, I will pull up. When I lose all my fuel and my fuselage tank, she will stop that behavior. She will not pull up by herself, pitch nose up by herself. And diving. Once again, perfect approach, not too shallow, not too steep. All I should do is control my elevator trim. That was a hit. That was a hit right on cockpit, but I was a little bit too early. I didn't catch that convergence. 400 meters is my convergence. Anyway, I'm sure that engine compartment was hit also, but anyway, driver's seat is completely destroyed. That's a desirable point on the vehicle. You should aim those transmission engine compartment, not the backside. Who knows, maybe the car is empty. Who knows, maybe car is filled with provision, with clothes. It will not explode, it will not catch fire, and who knows, maybe there are some armaments, some ammunition in that storage compartment in the backside, and you will receive explosion that will be unsafe. So it's better to aim oil tank, fuel tank, or engine compartment in the middle or in the first part of vehicle. I made a small mistake. My airspeed was too low, but anyway, my altitude is okay, almost 2,200 feet, 2,000 feet. I'm pulling up gently. Wait until airspeed is 110 miles per hour. That's my procedure. Very simple, very comfortable, very convenient. This approach is not too steep, quite shallow, and I need 3/4 shifting a little bit. That was a hit, that was a convergence hit. That's why I like it. Well, shallow approaches, they a little bit more simple in terms of more time you need. You got more time to aim, but they're not so effective. They're less angle to the more steeper you dive, the more hits you gain on the target. So your bullets disperse not so much on land surface, and even if you fire with a cannon, steep approach is more effective because your error is not your miss is not so much. So I prefer more steep approach. Once again, I need to count on that. I need to do 1/4 shifting, so I need to decrease my under turning angle while climbing. No, it will be not 090, it will be 845 probably, 085. I'm okay, that's gonna be normal steep approach. It's just an elevator trim, too much. That was a nice hit. I've hit that engine compartment once again and driver's cabin once again. But I probably was fraction of a second late on my trigger. That car didn't explode. I'm sure. Yes, that vehicle, that truck is destroyed. I'm a little bit too high on the sea surface, above the sea surface. I should change it next round, next circle. I've adjusted my heading a little bit to do effective 1/3/4 shift. Maybe I shouldn't do that, but anyway, it's done. I've got too much airspeed. I should climb a little bit harder. No, I should do more 1/4 shifting. I'm too close to objective, pulling up earlier. Or maybe I'm wrong. 2500 feet is good. No, I wasn't wrong, that's okay. And next truck. That was also a hit. I was a little bit close to the target, so that approach was too steep for my liking. Do not hit the surface. I had that in the past, that mistake in the past, and reduce altitude, get on a low level on deck to be invisible. That all may save you in realistic visibility conditions. No realistic visibility in this game. Hello, developers. Players can't see 25-35 kilometers range. That's not right. Pulling up a little bit, 150 miles per hour indicated that's a little bit too much. How about those? Oh, it's exploded, but to the right of that car didn't explode. I knew that was a good hit. I don't need to waste time and ammunition for that vehicle once again. I will not waste time and ammunition to that truck to the right of that exploded vehicle. So I will aim next to the left. How about my range? And I'm too far. That strafing pass will be quite shallow, but I don't mind. That's acceptable. That was a bad hit. I was too late. That's why I don't like shallow approaches. Any small error of your aiming, of your angling, gives you bigger error on your hits when your bullets or shells hit the surface or target. You've got more error, more undershooting or overshooting if your strafing pass is shallow. So steeper your strafing pass, more effective, more accurate your gunnery. I like it. Wait until 1200 feet altitude. Adjust elevator trim. Watch airspeed, pull up, pull up, pull up. Let's make it 145 miles per hour indicated. And we're right on target. She's stabilized. She's pitching her nose up by herself. I will not be in a hurry to pull up this time. She stops pitching. Now I pull up and I will be perfectly on my initial point for diving, for great steep approach, perfect approach, not too shallow, not too steep. And in crosswind conditions also steep approach is better. That was a hit, but I didn't hit the engine compartment. Okay, probably one more strafing pass with the base heading 300, and I will switch to another heading, to other heading, because maybe I don't need that. Maybe I don't need that. My approaches are quite steep for now, but I need that for practicing. Sometimes your targets are close with the trees, with compounds, houses in village or in town. So sometimes you need to change your base heading, and I will practice that procedure of changing and of strafing along the road, not perpendicular to the target. That's when I strafe them from the side, that's much easier for me to aim the target, and when I strafe from 6 or 12 o'clock, that's harder to aim. But I think it makes more damage. Oh, that was a nice hit previous attempt. Let's make it one more good approach. That was a miss. That was unacceptable. Okay, I'm counting about 12 seconds and turning left. I should do flat circle without firing, but I must say I've got quite a low discipline for that. I should be more. I should pay more attention for those. And after completing 3/4 of a turn, I will level up on 030 heading. That's gonna be my new base heading, and the target should be on my 12. Let's wait and see. Not on my 12, on my 1 o'clock, so my shifting was too much, but that's normal, because while turning your airspeed is is reducing, so your turn radius is reducing also. So I need a little bit 3/4 shifting. I will take that into account, and my jump heading is not 090. My jump heading is base heading plus 150 degrees. My base heading is 030 plus 150 degrees is 180. So when I'm 185, I'm starting leveling up and climbing, having 180 heading, leveling up, climbing. Elevator trim down a little bit. Trim up, trim up, trim up. Trim down, watch our vertical speed, watch our heading. Heading is absolutely fine. Trim up. Bank left. Watch vertical speed. I will not do profile circle without firing. I will pull up and open fire even this first circle. This strafing pass will be quite shallow. I'm okay with that. That truck didn't explode. I'll fix it. Very shallow approach, very shallow approach. That was a hit. I'm okay with that. You need to start with such strafing procedure. You need to start from the most out far target, because burning target and smoking target will prevent you from watching targets behind that smoke, behind that fire. So the most far located target should be strafed in the first place, and then step by step closer and closer to you. And turn left. I like my effectiveness this time. That's an experience, that's a convenient and simple strafing approach pattern. Okay, my fuselage tank is almost empty, but she still pitches her nose up by herself on such elevator trim settings. She stops pitching nose up, I'm pulling up, and that will be perfect for initial diving point. Much more steeper, much more better approach. That was the engine compartment hit. I will not focus on that truck anymore. I'm sure it's destroyed. I'm sure it was destroyed in previous attempt, but I wanted to see that splash. That wasn't the case this time. You need to be very good in your gunnery to catch your convergence, but that convergence will allow in more realistic gunnery simulation, will allow you to do much harm to even to armed targets like Honomax, like 222, 232, like Puma, like any armored car, like strong points. So those P-40 Brownings, they are quite good in real life. So you need to be ready to use your convergence. And just like I said, that truck is in flames. I love American-built airplanes. I love P-40. I will definitely fly in Jason Williams F4 Wildcat. That's great. We're gonna have new game on our hands. This approach some reason will be quite shallow. Not too much, but I would say it's okay, it's acceptable. That was a hit, good hit, good hit. I was fraction of a second late on the trigger. And also I've got no pedals, I'm using twist on my joystick. That's the simplest Thrustmaster joystick you can get. And if I would have those pedals, I would probably be able to steer left or right, but when aiming that target, I'm using only stick to bank left or bank right and elevator trim buttons to up and down my aiming point. That's comfortable. If I will do any, I'm not able to do any rudder trim settings. I've adjusted my rudder trim settings, one click right. Let's wait and see if it's gonna be good for me next approach. But anyway, that strafing pass was good. I've hit that target and you can see it on your screen. That truck is practically destroyed. It would burn or it would be damaged in different damage model. On a climbing turn my airspeed was too much. That was my bad. So I need to wait 3-4 seconds till pulling up, or I will be too shallow. I'm too shallow. I'm too far from objective. I'm too shallow. I don't like that. That's what I'm talking about. One touch of a trigger and here you go, German supply truck vehicle. That's why I like P-40 also. Maybe I should increase, that was too close actually. Maybe I should increase my convergence to 500 meters. That's a good idea. I should do that. Well, anyway, I've got too little practicing with that strafing. I've got nowhere to practice. Oh, that was a big mistake from me. I've slapped that A180 heading. So let my vertical speed be more than I usually do. Let's say I was too happy about that splash. That's normal. That's my training. That's good for you to be happy when you're successful, when you're effective, to be unhappy when you're not. That rudder trim settings adjustment was good. Let's repeat. That was unsafe. That was unsafe. That was a bad strafing pass, maybe the first strafing pass, which were too bad. And I can figure out why. My approach wasn't good, wasn't decent. My approach was bad. That's why I love that circle pattern. Every part of that circle is important and it's standard. It's perfect for group operations, for squads, for those who see it. And when you see like guys do not appreciate, do not use formation pattern after takeoff, brake pattern before landing. I recommend for all of you to watch FTS squad. They are good. I saw the overhead brake pattern performed in a proper way. That was probably the first time I saw that. That's how things should be done. If you do simple patterns like brake pattern before landing or formation pattern. After takeoff you will do combat bombing or strafing patterns also. So I've got no respect for guys who do not appreciate that you say something for them, write something in comments for them. They say, no, that's okay, all fine. Not all fine, not all okay. That's a decent steep approach. Let's make a good gunnery. Good hit, good hit. I think I should do another click to the right on my rudder trim. I did it. Maybe that will be too much, but anyway, that I was probably 1 meter to the left, 2 meters to the left, 1.5 meters to the left. But those that left side of the vehicle is all like a Swiss cheese with the bullets, with the holes. That guy, animated driver, he couldn't survive that. In real life, I don't need any gore in Ил2 Штурмовик, any blood, but in real life you would see the splash and cloud, red cloud, instead of that human being body running away. Once again, I will repeat, I don't need that in this game. I don't need that in other games like Squad. I played Squad a lot on Diplomacy server. That's a great server with sometimes with the good players, US players. Gary Busey used to play it. He may be playing right now, but I've stopped playing there on that server, and probably I will never play Squad anymore. I will not share the reasons why. Nice hit in engine compartment. I shouldn't focus on that vehicle. That vehicle is already done. I ain't got too much time. I'm sure has got pretty much ammo left, because you can see I'm applying very short bursts. They are effective. That was the engine compartment hit. I was a little bit, once again, fraction of a second late on my trigger, but still that was a decent pass. Let's repeat that. My approaches are quite shallow, I must say, this time. I don't know why. Well, I probably know why her behavior changed, because of empty fuselage tank and my fuel isn't enough. That's the problem. I will not have enough fuel. Yeah, that truck is burning. Yeah, yes, her behavior changed. She's no more. Oh, she's pitching nose up still. For some reason, my airspeed was too much. That's why. I should be easier on stick while pulling up, and that's okay. That will be quite steep approach. I like it. Decent steep approach. Too much, too steep probably. That was almost unsafe, I definitely should increase my convergence range, but I've hit that truck okay. I shouldn't waste my time, my fuel and my ammunition on, and first of all fuel on that truck anymore. I will focus on next target, those fuel tanks, vehicles, much more interesting because you shouldn't fly right over them. You can be damaged by explosion. I'm looking forward for those explosions, but you need to be good on your gunnery to make that fuel tank vehicles explode. Yeah, that car, that's a previous attempt. I will not focus on that vehicle anymore, and pull up. That previous strafing pass was too steep, I think. No, this approach will be quite shallow. Yes, quite shallow, but okay. Nice hit once again. Vehicle didn't explode, but that was a decent hit. The game some reason knows you will hit it fraction of a second before you hit it, and that driver is quick on running away from the target. You only touching your trigger and he's already running away. But in real life, of course, with a realistic human being behavior, those drivers would be at least 100 meters out of the target. They will run away like crazy. That's absolutely unrealistic when vehicles are proceeding with moving while you're strafing them, when drivers are staying inside the vehicles. That's absolutely wrong. Yes, that vehicle was destroyed. This approach, I'm afraid would be quite steep. No, not steep at all. And you can see that vehicle is burning, and I will focus on that last. That was a bad. I moved to the left, and that was my bad. Another bad approach. I moved to the left. That's why I don't like shallow approaches, your airspeed is too high, she reacts on aileron more. That was my error. And I definitely need to increase my convergence distance at least to 500, maybe to 600. That's a good practice for me. I play P-40 not too much. That's the last game I have this week. Last stream I will have maybe next Saturday if I'm lucky, or maybe next Friday maybe. That's a silly hope, but who knows, maybe next Friday even. I will do some P-38 hunting on combat box. That type of a mission doesn't require good operational readiness. And as I said, that vehicle is burning. For good operational readiness you need to be fresh, to have good sleeping, or you need to have free time. That was unsafe, I was too late on pulling up, but I'm sure that that truck is damaged enough. And I will switch and I will do another rather trim right click, one click to the right. Once I've damaged my props being so low above the treetops, low like that. And leveling up and climbing. And those fuel tank vehicles are coming up. And I forgot to do any 2/4 shifting. That's my bad. I've lost another error. I've lost 1200 altitude. I consider that because I'm tired. She is no more pitching her nose up. Yes, another quite shallow approach, but I'm okay with that. That was a hit. I need another click of rudder trim to the right. So my experience tells me it would be better if she will have tendency to bank right. It would be better for me. That was pretty much a good hit, but I will repeat attack on that first fuel tank vehicle. yes, that P-40's behavior changed, and that happened staged change of mass balance. Her behavior changed, not slowly, but staged. That was staged change. Petrovich didn't complete his fuel system on this game. He wanted to do that. For my knowledge, that producer didn't appreciate that. They do nothing last almost 2 years, and it's always somebody's fault, but not their fault. Jason Williams' fault, Petrovich's fault. Unsafe, not a bad approach, not a bad strafing pass. That's because of probably increased airspeed. I will not have fuel to destroy all those vehicles. I did 4 dummy approaches. For bad strafing passes. As you can see, I'm indiscreet with maintaining that vertical speed, but my passes are quite shallow, so I don't mind if my vertical speed will be more than usual. I need to get my initial diving point located close to, much more close to, a little bit more close to target. And maybe I'm too early in pulling up, but who knows. Definitely that fuel tank vehicle is destroyed. Yes, it is. It's burning. I will focus on the next one. Good steep approach. Not too steep, not too shallow. Here we go. That was definitely too close. I was definitely too late on trigger, and I destroyed that. How you say it? Blitz tankwagen, or I will call it tankwagen. How? Blitz truck, yes, Opel Blitz truck I will call it. Blitz truck and tankwagen. German language is good also. I don't know German. My English is too bad. And my gunnery isn't good. Also, my approach strafing passes, they are quite shallow for some reason. I need them to be more steep, and that's why I will wait a little bit longer till I pull up. Thanks God, SteelSkies server made by German guy probably. Breaker, thank you Breaker, and I would like to comment in Discord on forum, but no Discord, no forum topic about this great SteelSkies training server. Use it, please, for your training purposes. It's great, always available, not like historical airlock training. That was another bad hit, but with my only 400 meters, I probably damaged my airplane. Did I? No. She feels a little bit different. With such an explosion, that's very dangerous, and you can figure out those explosions are possible when fuel tank is almost empty or half empty, half full, half empty. When it's full, that explosion probably impossible. But those fuel gases, or how you say it, steams, fuel gases in empty fuel tank, they perfect for explosion, like thermobaric charge. So that could be very dangerous for you while you're flying above the target. So I will increase my my convergence to 600 meters, I think. Good steep approach. Airspeed will be too much. Here you go. That was a nice hit. Not explosion. Yeah, 600 feet convergence distance is coming up. I will change it right away after I land. If I land, if I don't do any mistake, 17 units, that's the right count, probably, I remember. So I destroyed all the units with only one P-40, and in that Bambridge village, on that street, among right next to those compounds, I will show it later, there are vehicles with some explosive load in it, in Opel Blitz trucks with some explosive load. You could see that tank wagon destroyed, exploded, and those vehicles in those buildings will be destroyed from one burst because of a big explosion. So I've got good chances to destroy all targets and to go back home. Good steep approach. Here you go, that was a good strafing pass, and I will do some some base point shifting. That was one base shift, very rare shift, not 1 quarter, not 2 quarters, not 3 quarters shift, but base shift. Actually, I needed to do that shift on while strafing those vehicles, but I needed to do 2 quarters shifting, but my strafing passes were too shallow, so when targets were closer and closer to me, I didn't mind and didn't do any 2 quarters shifting. And this time I will do head-to-head strafing to that Opel Blitz truck, and let's wait and see how big explosion's gonna be. Maybe I will be damaged by that explosion, but I don't care. I'm quite far from target, from objective. Those I'm not able to see those vehicles, but I see those compounds which block my view. Pull up and dive. That will be not too shallow, quite steep approach. Let's make it. Oh, quite good explosion, as I've said previously, and targets destroyed. Anyway, now I'm egressing from target, 15 inches technochat on, 15 inches, I've got fuel, I will not hurry up with I'm not looking into technochat, I'm adjusting, I need 15 inches, not 13. I'm adjusting, I'm decreasing my airspeed, and I'm adjusting, oh, that's 40% technochat off, I don't need it anymore, and I increase power, she's gonna be stabilized. And what can I say? Should I or should I not? Okay, let's climb. 5% more, 72% RPM, 5% more, rudder trim to 33, 5% more. I'm waiting till she stops pitching nose up, 5% more. I've lost 5 degrees of heading, that's unacceptable, 5% more, and 5% more. Technochat off, throttle forward. That was too much. she's not stabilized, and I'm starting to bank left. And this is a torn island. My previous air base, which I used on this server for training purposes. I'm gonna climb till 1800 feet, and that's my overhead brake pattern altitude, standard altitude. My heading is gonna be 330. Okay. 25.5 inches would be okay for such a low fuel capacity. Such a low fuel, I left not about 50% still with me, transitioning into straightened level, minus 10% elevator trim, 43 RPM, one aileron to the right wing, minus 5% more, behavior changed. I should watch my heading, that's unacceptable, that's my bad, minus 5% more, minus 5% more. I'm looking forward to good overhead brake pattern and good approach and good landing, minus 5% more, shut off, I don't need it anymore. She's perfectly stabilized and throttling back. Let's wait and see what. Oh, I need to close my radiator cowl flaps. Right now I'm over Caution, Fairham and Southampton is gonna be my next terrain feature, my next landmark I'm gonna approach. Perfect altitude, 19.4, 19.5 inches is quite enough for her. She's perfectly stabilized. Yes, close. Cowl flaps a little bit to increase airspeed. Let's make it 45-degree bank, turn left. I've got enough time, enough fuel. .285 is my new heading. That's normal to do such turns, 45-degree bang, 45-degree turns on a route line. And now I need to get myself into approach straight entrance area. It's gonna be over here. You should get into that area heading perpendicular to the approach straight heading. So I should have 240. Approach straight will be 150. So I will fly towards this small elongated pond, I will not miss it. I will not miss Southampton, Eastgate, Teton, Ramsey. I will not miss those very convenient terrain features, landmarks. That's great visibility, great. Oh, as you can see, I'm climbing a little bit, so I'm opening up my cowl flaps. That's why does it happen? Because of a staged change of mass balance which occurred during last 2 or 3 minutes, later than I was adjusting my cowl flaps position to compensate loss of vertical speed. She lost some mass because of fuel burned, and gain, considering my airspeed is too much for stabilized, balanced, straight and level flight, so I need to open up cowl flaps to decrease airspeed a little bit. I will not be able to do that with throttle lever. Those margins are too fine to set them up with throttle, but radiator flaps could do that. And even with that, cowl flaps, P-40 cowl flaps are no near as efficient as E-20 cowl flaps. Still, I'm able to balance my airplane to fix that airspeed with my cowl flaps opening or closing. And you don't need Technochart for cowl flaps because of this gauge. You don't need to maintain your view on your nose behavior on your instrument panel. To do that, but in transitioning procedures in standard stabilized attitude setting, I need Technochart for standard trim settings. Oh, that Southampton is quite good. Southampton port is quite good. Quite spectacular. Yeah. I like P-40 balanced, perfectly balanced. I didn't lost even half a degree of heading. That's why I like P-40. Perfect pursuit fighter of United States Army Air Force, built with technologies 1930s technologies, not like P-38, P-47, P-51. I know P-38 was made in 30s, but technologies on P-38 are quite advanced. You can say that was 1940s technologies, but P-40 is good old school 1930s technologies made, produced airplane, quite simple, quite efficient, and I can see those small ponds, so I figure I'm somewhere here. 0604.8 6 probably. I think I can start my left 45 degree bank, 45 degree turn. Additional power, pulling up, not letting her lose altitude. When she pitches her nose down, she's gaining airspeed. I don't need it. I need it, but not too much. And throttling back, it's already 240. And next I don't need any maps, any navigational charts. I will see that Lyndhurst, I see it already. And I will pick the right timing for my final 90 degree left turn. Not now, not now. I even can see the landing strip already. You will not be able to see it on stream. Not now, wait a little bit more, heading is okay. And I don't need to have it on my 12, it's now. Commands left 90 degrees turn. Pulling up, not letting her lose altitude. She's accelerating because of additional power. Now she's stabilized in left 15 degree bank angle glide turn. Not letting her lose altitude. I was too late. No, not too late. Probably not. No, probably too late. Yes, too late. Retard the throttle back. Yes, I'm a little bit too far to the right. I will compensate that with a 3 or 4 degree bank angle left turn and then right turn. One 60, turn right. Watch our bank angle, that's too much. Sometimes you can do a standard turn with a 15 degree bank angle. Should I leave that? No, another small turn. And another back to 150. I'm quite far to the right anyway. Quite far to the right, turning left once again. And turning right to have 150 heading in our overhead brake pattern initial point. So I shifted 3/4 already. I need to shift 1/4. I will not do that. That's okay. When that runway threshold will touch my wing, I will start turning. That was 44 seconds. So in 15 seconds later the second member of group will start turning, and third will in 14 seconds, and so on. I will have 9 seconds to quarter shift on opposite heading, 330 heading. I will level up and fly straight 9 seconds. When P-40 is heavy, it's 7 seconds. Some reason when it's light on fuel, it's 9 seconds. So my final approach is not so steep. Some reason. So I need to get my initial final approach point a little bit more far from landing run threshold. Altitude is absolutely fine. Retard the throttle and back, and when 330 I level up. That was 26 seconds plus 9, that's 35 seconds when I commence my proceed with my left turning. Absolutely fine. Altitude is absolutely fine. A little bit additional power. She is stabilized, absolutely fine. I watch my ranging. Ranging, I would say, is fine. I'm not too close, not too far, so I don't need any adjustments. And when it's 240 heading, I will level up and start my transitioning into wheels down, flaps down, final approach, stabilized attitude. Technochat on for that. Level up, wheels down, throttle back and forward a little bit, RPM forward, banking left, not letting her lose altitude. Elevator trim set, aileron trim set, rudder trim set, technochat off, I don't need it anymore. Not letting her lose altitude, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, and flaps down, nose down, throttle forward. She is stabilized. I like it. Absolutely stabilized. No pitching nose up, pitching nose down, no air speed wobbling, no vertical speed wobbling. I'm absolutely fine on my approach. Maybe I'm too high. No, that's a mistake here. No, I'm too high probably. Yes, a little bit too high. I will not do second pass. I just reduce my power. Yes, I was a little bit too high. I should reduce power earlier. That approach wasn't ideal. Yes. That's gonna be a long touchdown for me. Awful landing. Awful landing. I will not do any landing practicing. But that landing was awful. I'm very rusty. I need to practice on P-40 more and more. 1200 RPM power for clearing the runway. I had a long touchdown. I'm already the runway is expired and I'm trimmed to neutral, and I will do taxiing to my parking position. Awful touchdown. I need practicing more. I've got nowhere to practice on P-40. Wings of Liberty is unacceptable for me. Throttling back a little bit. Let's make it 1000 RPM exactly, not 1030, 1020 RPM. Taxiing speed is too fast. That was a circle attempt. I wasn't able to compensate that without using brakes. I'm very, very rusty. I will not decrease power anymore. I will do more sharp turns. On asphalt tarmac that's tricky. I will touch the ground probably right now. All that taxiing speed is too much. So, bad landing, circling on taxiing. It's a lack of operational readiness. You need to refresh your skills, but where? Waste time on P-40 and you've got nowhere to fly it. That was circling attempt. And that's why I don't like asphalt tarmac. My power is too much. Rolling drag resistance is too low. Well, anyway, I've managed to do that 990 RPM. That's much more like it. I'm gonna feel the stage right now, the step. And that was circling attempt. Thanks God I've got enough space to compensate that. Another circling attempt. I will not be able to compensate that without braking. Very rusty. I need to refresh my skills more often. Taxiing on grass would be much more easier, because my issues are they caused by a little bit excessive taxiing speed. Let's try and do steer to that parking place. I couldn't do that without touching the grass. Because of excessive taxiing speed. Too much. Wingtip to wingtip. Okay, thank you all for watching. That will be all for today, for this week. That was a good practice. I'm quite efficient with my final procedure, strafing procedure. I've been developing that pattern for some time. It developed itself, you can say. So I hope see you next Friday or next Saturday probably. Thank you all and goodbye.